Lil Durk's case now carries shockingly high fresh murder accusations. Finds out Durk was out here playing 3D chess on everyone, from going to LA to supervise one of his ops to getting merged to pay informants to mislead police. I'm sorry I told the world I don't believe Von paid these people. This is the end for Lil Durk. The OTF leader may perhaps get roasted because the government will now utilize the rapper's lyrics in court. Let's ascertain Lil Durk hit with new charges. When Lil Durk was arrested back in late October, the world knew that he was in for hiring OTF members to murder fellow rapper Quando Rondo. However, 2 weeks later, the rapper is facing new charges, and it's way worse than anyone thinks because some of the new details emerging are nothing short of shocking right now. The indictment reveals how the plot unfolded, and the new details the government has made public could actually cook Durkio, according to the officials. Lil Durk with 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and 1 count of carrying and discharging firearms, including a machine gun, in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. The charges are serious, carrying the potential for a life sentence if convicted. The story starts with the sad death of Chicago rapper King Von in 2020. Her death shocked the music business and set off a sequence of events that would finally result in the federal indictment revealing 5 OTF members to be arrested. Those connected with OTF: Kalon, London, Grant, Dondrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston were charged in Los Angeles with plotting to kill rapper Quando Rondo. This plot is believed to be a retaliatory act linked to the circumstances surrounding King Von's death. The indictment shows how the feds uncovered a web of connections and communications that suggested a coordinated effort to target Quando Rondo. It turns out that OTF members allegedly conspired to carry out the murder for a higher plot, which ultimately led to their arrests. The 5 men used OTF-affiliated credit cards to book flights and rental vehicles to the location of the killing, and now they are confronted with significant allegations of murder for hire, including a fatality and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime. The indictment connects the animosity between Quando Rondo and V back to an encounter outside an Atlanta nightclub where V physically assaulted Quando Rondo, escalating into gunshots. CCTV footage showed V approaching fellow rapper Quando Rondo and punching him to the ground. V's guys joined in and started raining blows on Quando as he tried to get away from his attackers. One of Key's homeboys, Tim, appeared from behind their vehicle with a gun in hand and started letting off shots as everyone ran away. Von was hit on his torso and later died from his gunshot wounds while in the hospital. For Lil Durk, the death of his friend was not only a personal tragedy but also the start of his beef with Quando Rondo. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Rondo's head. Turns out it was actually true, according to court documents. An OTF member told cops that after Von's death, Durk used coded language to tell OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing. Quando Rondo, Durk's cousin Dondrell Wilson, also told OTF members that anyone who took part in the murder would be rewarded with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. In August 2022, the matter reached a boiling pitch. According to the federal court filings, Lil Durk's associates allegedly learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. This information set off a chain of events that would culminate in a carefully planned murder plot. On August 18, 2022, a carefully orchestrated plan was set into motion aiming to ambush and eliminate Quando Rondo in the heart of Los Angeles. The facts of this conspiracy, as disclosed in federal court documents, give a chilling picture of the depths to which people were ready to go in pursuit of vengeance. Upon arriving in Los Angeles, the group was met by Con Grant, a high-ranking associate of Durk. Grant had flown to the city on a private jet, a luxury that seemingly underscored the resources at their disposal. However, the situation took an explosive turn with the revelation that Grant had not traveled alone. Court documents allege that Lil Durk himself accompanied Grant on the flight, a development that potentially implicates the rapper more deeply in the unfolding events. The day the saga involving Lil Durk's associates Dondrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston took a chilling turn as they arrived in Los Angeles, determined to execute their alleged mission with precision and secrecy. The group, who had reportedly traveled from Chicago to San Diego before driving to Los Angeles, was accused of using funds provided by Lil Durk himself. Their journey was marked by meticulous planning, with efforts to avoid any direct connection to the rapper. Allegedly, Durk had instructed them to refrain from booking flights or accommodations under names that could be traced back to him. However, federal investigators uncovered evidence from Durk's iCloud account that showed he had warned them explicitly not to book anything linked to him, a warning they ignored. Flights were reportedly booked using a credit card tied to Lil Durk and his Only the Family OTF organization, raising suspicions and leaving a trail for investigators. Con Grant's role in orchestrating the operation became apparent as investigators unraveled the details of the day. Grant allegedly secured hotel accommodations for the group, purchased ski masks to conceal their identities, and rented 2 luxury vehicles intended for use during the ambush. His contributions didn't stop there. Court records reveal that he armed Jones, Lindsay, and an unidentified third man with firearms, one of which had been illegally modified into a machine gun. This preparation significantly escalated the potential for violence and painted a chilling picture of premeditation. As the group began their surveillance, their target was clear: Quando Rondo, a prominent figure in the music industry, known for his public feud with Lil Durk's camp. The associates tracked Rondo as he moved through Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade, following him to various locations, including a marijuana dispensary and a high-end clothing store in West Hollywood. Their pursuit culminated at a gas station across from the iconic Beverly Center, a high-traffic area in the heart of Los Angeles. At the gas station, Asa Houston allegedly positioned his vehicle strategically, blocking potential escape routes and setting the stage for the ambush. Meanwhile, Jones, Lindsay, and the unidentified third man exited their car, armed and ready to execute their plan. According to federal allegations, the men unleashed a barrage of gunfire in a brazen attempt to eliminate their target. The incident sent shockwaves through the city, leaving bystanders in panic and drawing significant law enforcement attention. Surveillance footage, witness accounts, and forensic evidence pieced together a narrative that painted the events as a coordinated, violent attack. The federal indictment, now updated with new details, highlights the depth of the alleged conspiracy and the resources poured into its execution. What stands out most is the high level of planning and the direct involvement of high-profile individuals, including Lil Durk. The indictment's revelations not only intensify the scrutiny on the rapper and his associates, but also raise broader questions about the intersection of celebrity crime and accountability. As the legal proceedings unfold, the case promises to remain a focal point of public and media interest, with implications that extend far beyond the music industry. Tragically, Quando Rondo's cousin El Pub, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed in the aftermath of the attempted ambush. The suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand where they allegedly discussed payment. With Cayenne Grant, the group then made their way back to Chicago, flying from San Diego as authorities began piecing together the details of the brazen attack. So the guy who equipped and later paid off the shooters had flown with Lil Durk to LA just a few hours before the shooting, and to make everything worse, he did all these with credit cards linked to Durk and OTF. Damn, it might take a miracle for Dario to get himself out of this one. But that's not all the new indictment revealed. When news broke out that the Chicago rapper had been arrested, there was a rumor that he had tried to flee the country at the time. Everyone that the blogs were trying to blow things out of proportion, but it turns out it was straight facts. The detention of Mr. Banks as he sought to leave the United States is once again confirmation that the FBI and our exceptional partners at the Los Angeles Police Department have a long reach, said the assistant director in charge of the FBI Los Angeles field office. As it turns out, the feds have been keeping tabs on him for a long time. The FBI had even infiltrated his gang and knew his every move. It was during this period of heightened surveillance that the FBI learned of Lil Durk's attempts to leave the country. According to the indictment, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. According to the indictment, it was co-conspirator 4 who learned of Quando Rondo's visit to California and began supplying information about his movements. This individual allegedly relayed key details, including the rapper's hotel location in Los Angeles, enabling the group to track and ambush him. Things took a surprising turn when music executive Wack 100, in a recent interview, hinted at the identity of co-conspirator 4, suggesting it could be none other than Brick Baby, a local figure with ties to the same gang as Quando Rondo. Action alerted the FBI when Durk purchased 2 one-way tickets to Dubai and Switzerland on October 24th. These reservations aroused instant red flags as they signaled an effort to dodge the legal implications of the emerging indictment, although Lil Durk did not board the flights to Dubai or Switzerland. The situation took a more dramatic turn when the FBI discovered that he had also arranged for a private plane to depart Miami and arrive in Italy. This revelation added a new layer of urgency to the investigation, prompting law enforcement to act swiftly. The timing of these bookings, coupled with the serious charges facing his associates, painted a picture of a man on the run seeking refuge from the storm of legal troubles closing in on him. On the evening of Thursday, October 24th, FBI agents moved in to arrest Lil Durk at the Miami area airport. The arrest took place around 8 p.m. Just an hour before his scheduled departure to Italy. The swift action by law enforcement ensured that Lil Durk would not evade justice as he was transported to Broward County Jail. A federal magistrate judge in Miami has ordered him jailed without bond until he is transferred to Los Angeles for arraignment. It also comes out that the FBI and LAPD's Operation West Bureau homicide investigators uncovered that Durk was engaged in this terrible murder, and how they did it will shock you, since it turns out those involved couldn't help but brag about the hit on social media how the feds caught Lil Durk in OTF. After the indictment was made public, fans noticed something crazy, which DJ Vad pointed out. There were multiple people cooperating with the authorities. The hip-hop, a prominent commentator, recently shared explosive findings on social media, shedding light on new details surrounding the case involving Lil Durk and his associates. After combing through legal documents, he highlighted that 3 unnamed co-conspirators are listed in the indictment, with their roles suggesting significant involvement in the alleged plot. One of these individuals was identified as one of the 3 shooters, another handled the logistics of booking flights for the group, and the third reportedly leaked Quando Rondo's location in Los Angeles. The commentator speculated that these co-conspirators might now be cooperating with federal authorities against Lil Durk and the other defendants, a revelation that could dramatically shift the trajectory of the case. Wack 100 recalled that many initially believed the Atlanta shooting that nearly claimed Quando Rondo's life and tragically killed his cousin stemmed from a drug deal gone wrong involving Armenian or Persian groups. However, evidence now points to a more sinister narrative. In February 2023, Brick Baby made cryptic comments on social media boasting about OTF's retaliation for King Von's death. He stated, "No one can say OTF didn't slide for Von," sparking renewed speculation about his involvement. Brick Baby's timing raised eyebrows as it coincided with increased federal interest in him. In March 2023, federal agents reportedly targeted Brick Baby, initially believed to be linked to an Alaska 47-related charge. However, it later emerged that their true objective was his cell phone, a potentially crucial piece of evidence. This development came after authorities allegedly informed Quando Rondo that members of his own gang, the Rollin 60s Crips, had betrayed him. Brick Baby and Quando Rondo were both affiliated with the Rollin 60s, and when Quando arrived in Atlanta, he reportedly checked in with the gang for protection. However, the betrayal became clear when details of Quando's location were leaked to his enemies. The fallout from this revelation was evident in Quando Rondo's public response. In the aftermath of the shooting, the Savannah rapper took to social media to distance himself from the gang life he had once embraced. His post conveyed a deep sense of disillusionment and a desire to sever ties with those he believed had turned against him. In one post, he wrote, "It's time for me to spend time on myself and free myself from a lot of people. My main man's gone and I'm cool on a lot of things. If I feel like you're not with me, there's no reason for me to hold on to you." In another post, Quando declared his intention to leave gang life behind entirely, stating, "I'm not jump out gang either. There's no loyalty in this. I'm my own guy. I set my flag down." His words underscored his frustration and sense of betrayal as he publicly denounced his gang and sought to forge a new path. The allegations surrounding Brick Baby and his potential role as co-conspirator 4 have added a new layer of complexity to the case. If true, it suggests a deeply fractured dynamic within the gang and raises questions about loyalty and survival in a world marked by shifting alliances. As the investigation continues, the revelations have intensified public interest, with fans and critics alike watching closely as the case unfolds. For Quando Rondo, the ordeal represents not only a fight for justice but also a pivotal moment of self-reinvention in the face of profound betrayal. No ho, why all ain't going to ride for real. It's no sense being a part of why all with the opposition. I don't give a, but it also turns out that Brick Baby isn't the only one who went on the internet to talk about the crime, because the indictment revealed that Durk actually rapped about it in his music. In March 2023, Brick Baby was reportedly targeted by federal agents who initially believed he was connected to an Alaska 47-related charge. However, it was later revealed that the authorities were after something much more significant: his cell phone. The phone, it seems, could hold critical information related to the case. This discovery adds another layer of intrigue, as it suggests that the authorities are closely monitoring those with potential links to the conspiracy, and that Brick Baby's cell phone may contain the evidence needed to secure convictions. What's weird is that the indictment also specifies the specific song, which implies that Duro's words will be used against him in court in the tune Lovely Wayne and Jackie Boy, which is in the indictment. Durk WPS told me they received an addy, got the location, and got the green light. Go look on the news and see your son screaming no, no, and all them hanging with him. If you know Durk was talking about Quando Rondo, who was caught on camera screaming after his cousin El Poob was shot and killed by Durko's OTF shooters, and this wasn't the only time he talked about the murder in his music in another track. Rumors Lil Durk raps, "I don't want no to you catch, I want the one I paid for," ironically in the same. In a startling revelation that has captured the attention of fans and critics alike, a prominent commentator recently took to social media to share explosive findings regarding the ongoing case involving Lil Durk and his associates. The commentator's analysis of court documents uncovered some intriguing and potentially game-changing details about the indictment. According to these documents, 3 co-conspirators remain unnamed, but their roles in the alleged plot have come into sharp focus. One of these individuals was reportedly one of the 3 shooters involved in the attack on Quando Rondo, while another was responsible for the logistics of booking flights for the group. The third co-conspirator is said to have played a key role in the operation by leaking Quando Rondo's location in Los Angeles. This revelation has sparked intense speculation that these co-conspirators could be cooperating with federal authorities, which could dramatically alter the course of the case. The indictment, which has been closely scrutinized by legal experts and the media, specifically mentions co-conspirator 4 as the individual who learned of Quando Rondo's planned visit to California. This person allegedly began feeding critical information to the group, including details about the rapper's hotel location in Los Angeles. This intel ultimately allowed the group to track Rondo's movements and execute the ambush. What makes this revelation even more fascinating is that in a recent interview, music executive Wack 100 made a claim that has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Wack 100 suggested that co-conspirator 4 may very well be none other than Brick Baby, a local figure with ties to the same gang as Quando Rondo, the Rollins 60s Crips. Wack 100 further elaborated on the situation, recalling how the world initially believed that the shooting in Atlanta, which nearly claimed Quando Rondo's life and tragically led to the death of his cousin, was the result of a drug deal gone wrong. Specifically, many assumed the altercation involved Armenian or Persian groups in a botched weed deal. However, new evidence seems to point to a much more sinister and complex scenario. Wack 100 suggested that the shooting may have been tied to gang-related activity and that Brick Baby's comments in February 2023 about OTF's retaliation for the death of King Von were a key clue. In a social media post, Brick Baby boldly declared, "No one can say OTF didn't slide for Von," which raised significant questions about his involvement. The timing of these remarks, coming just as federal agents were ramping up their investigation into him, has only fueled speculation. Further complicating matters, it has emerged that Quando Rondo himself was informed by law enforcement that members of his own gang, the Rollins 60s Crips, had potentially betrayed him. Both Brick Baby and Quando Rondo were affiliated with the Rollins 60s, and it was reported that Quando checked in with the gang for protection when he arrived in Atlanta. However, the betrayal came to light when information about Quando's whereabouts was allegedly leaked to his enemies. This leak could have played a crucial role in the shooting, further adding to the sense of distrust and paranoia within the gang. In the wake of the shooting, Quando Rondo's reaction has been nothing short of dramatic. In a series of social media posts, the rapper expressed his disillusionment with gang life and his desire to distance himself from those he once considered family. His post reflected a deep sense of betrayal and a desire for self-preservation. In one emotional post, he wrote, "It's time for me to spend time on myself and free myself from a lot of people. My main man's gone and I'm cool on a lot of things. If I feel like you're not with me, there's no reason for me to hold on to you." This statement made it clear that Rondo was no longer willing to continue living a life marked by false loyalties and broken trust. In another post, Quando Rondo made a bold declaration about leaving the gang life behind entirely. He stated, "I'm not jump out gang either. There's no loyalty in this. I'm my own guy. I set my flag down." His words resonated with fans and followers, underscoring the emotional toll the events had taken on him. By distancing himself from his gang affiliation, Rondo was signaling not just a personal transformation, but also an effort to escape a life that had betrayed him in the most painful way. The allegations surrounding Brick Baby's potential role as co-conspirator 4 have added a significant new layer of complexity to the case. If the claims are true, they suggest that the dynamics within the gang were far more fractured and volatile than previously thought. The shifting alliances and betrayals within the Rollins 60s Crips are now under intense scrutiny as law enforcement works to unravel the web of connections that may have led to the ambush. The revelations have sparked widespread public interest, with many wondering just how deep the conspiracy runs and what the ultimate consequences will be for those involved. For Quando Rondo, this entire ordeal represents far more than just a fight for justice. It's a pivotal moment in his life. The emotional toll of betrayal, the public reckoning with his past actions, and the desire to forge a new path are all factors that will likely shape his future. As the investigation continues, it's clear that the case will have far-reaching implications for all those involved, including Lil Durk and the co-conspirators who may soon face the consequences of their actions. As the story unfolds, one thing is certain: the revelations that have come to light will continue to shape the narrative surrounding this high-profile case. Turns out that all this was capped because word on the street is that the bounty was $250,000. Everybody says $150,000, but on the W-Taps, it was $250,000. It looks like the informant was intentionally giving false information to the cops to divert attention away from Durk, and since V was dead, there wasn't any harm done, but all that is mere speculation, just like the 3 murders attached to his name. And one of them involves the baby mama of one of his close associates. There are different rumors concerning Octavia Redmond's death. She was OTF Jam's baby mom. OTF Jam is reported to be one of Durk's shooters. The initial story is that Lil Durk found out that Jam had been working with the authorities, determined to have his vengeance. Durk understood that having an FBI informant may bring him unwelcome attention from the government, so he went after his child's mother.